Hello friends, Noah from Corporate Streams. Today we are going to be talking about moving.
Be seen, heard, and better understood through virtual gatherings. Elevate your message with Corporate Streams.
So I just moved into a new house. I am here in my home office and you're seeing this for the first time. And I just spent the last month moving all my equipment and all my stuff over to this new place. There's some things I wish I would have done different, and almost every experience in life can be something that you learn from. And so that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about today. The next time that you have to move, hopefully you can think through some of these things, especially with film gear. That way you can make sure that you don't have the same headaches that I had. The first thing is, if you know you're going to move, start going through your stuff. I did kind of start that process, but I was a little bit reluctant because I really liked the place I was at in Fullerton. I didn't want to have to go through all my stuff, and so I procrastinated and put it off. But that was something that I should have been doing from the beginning, because when I got here, I had moved all of my stuff over to the new house. There was a lot of stuff that after I had moved it over here, we got rid of. I mean, a lot of stuff, actually a whole trailer full of stuff that I probably didn't have to bring over here. I could have gotten rid of it sooner. I could have thought through it. And then instead of moving things once to the new place and then getting rid of them once they're here, I could have thought through that ahead of time and made that choice a little faster. I also got a really great tip about gear. I sold a large tripod, a really expensive tripod. And the guy that I sold it to said, hey, you left money on the table. I would have paid more for this tripod. So the tip of the day for this one is list your items so that they sell during normal business hours. What that's going to do is allow regular business people to look up those items and purchase them for their company, separate than an individual who tends to shop on the weekend. Larger purchases obviously cost a little bit more money. So having that land on a weekday during business hours will give you more business shoppers to buy your gear if you're looking to sell your gear. So that was something that I also learned along the way. Finally, I built shelves and other things at my old place, and I realized I should have put everything on wheels, because if everything's on wheels, it's a lot easier to move in and out of. My home office was in the living room before, and that had some built-in cabinets which I had to pull everything out of. If I would have just sorted through my boxes ahead of time, organized my stuff, and put them in proper bins, it would have made the move a lot simpler. Finally, you got to create some sort of rule for yourself of how long you're going to keep older equipment and older gear, especially if it's stuff you don't use all the time. So I had some stands and some different equipment that I hadn't used in a couple of years, multiple years. It's been sitting on the shelf kind of taking up space. So what I decided to do is list a lot of these things. eBay is a great tool for that because it has this kind of deadline which forces everybody to actually pay attention and hopefully purchase stuff. I will admit that obviously with fees and the bidding process, sometimes you won't get as much money as you're hoping for. But then the opposite is true about Facebook. I've listed stuff on Facebook. Some people would negotiate and lowball you, and then other people would pay full price, which is great, but you have to have a little bit more patience. So if you're not in a rush to sell your gear, Facebook might be the answer. You list it for the price you want and just be patient. But if you needed to go a little bit faster, say within a week, you can list it on eBay and it'll be sold on eBay. So those are the things that I learned during this moving process, or I guess relearned, because some of the things I kind of already knew, but kind of stopped thinking about during that transitional period in my life. And as you can probably tell, this room isn't complete. There's some mess that's still left for me to go through and clean up. And even though it's been about a month now since I started the move, there are still things that I'm working through and growing through. So hopefully I will be posting regularly again, once or twice a week for the Corporate Streams channel. One of the next things I'm talking about, I'm going to continue with the Stream Basics series, and we're going to talk all about cameras next. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions about live streaming, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and we will see you in the next one.